Hello there. Welcome back. So let me start with a useful disclaimer. If you're someone who worships Jagis, Sadhguru, Vasudev, this video is not for you, and I don't want to hurt your feelings. So why I'm doing it? I don't care if you think he's a genius and he knows everything and is a mystic, that's fine, and he gives you meaning for your life. That's how you feel it, it's okay. And what I'm trying to do is his use of science to promote himself as someone who knows science, and also his science, so-called yogic science and mystic science, and claims that his science is better than the other science that's supposedly Western science, not science of all humans, and just promote all fake thing and basically enrich himself. See, that's what I'm trying to disabuse. So I don't care if he gives like 1 hour, 2 hour talking about meaning of life, and that gives you some meaning for your life. That's fine. It's all subjective anyway. But I'm not interested in the belief for you on him. So I'm trying to expose his abuse of the science and scientific knowledge, and he's not just using the scientific terminology to promote his brand of fake science called yogic science or mystic science. He also disparage the scientific community and sometimes even common people as idiot. If you watched my other videos, you would have known. So this video is he trying to give some scientific explanation for Kailash mountain, the Kailash peak. This was, I think, over a decade ago. This is the time he tried to develop his brand, yogic science brand, use the science. And back then, he's kind of used to the science, trying to make up with the science. But he was not sure, like he can go full throttle and say like, I know this is science, but he's not doing that back then. He said like, this is the science, but I'm not sure. Scientists may say this one, it could be. So he's kind of just wading in the water, how to use science to legitimize himself and his fake the yogic science. So that's the period he's in this video. So basically he's trying to give some fake scientific explanation for existence of Kailash peak. Okay, let's hear. It's funny. It's really funny.
Between 800 to 1100 degrees centigrade.
Okay, let me start with that first.
So something happened there which created temperatures between 800 to 1100 degrees centigrade. Is it a meteorite? Did it land slowly for some reason? It's become a station of knowledge and grace.
Oh gosh.
So if you look at this whole setup, the geological setup around it, you see what is called as a conglomerate of mass, which is like concrete, which has all pebbles molded into some molten earth. So something happened there which created temperatures between 800 to 1100 degrees centigrade, which melted the soil, but which did not melt the rocks.
Melt the soil.
If a volcano happens, rocks melt because the temperatures go up to 3000 degrees centigrade. If a meteorite lands, temperatures hit 4000 to 6000 degrees centigrade, so everything melts. These are the two phenomena we know which generally create that kind of temperature. Or if the tectonic plates move, which has definitely happened in the area, if they happen, then also temperatures could rise because of the friction and things could melt. I really don't have enough scientific information as to what is the kind of temperatures that happen. Some Russian scientist says that this kind of tectonic clash could create that kind of 800 to 1000 degrees centigrade and soil could melt and all this stuff. It's possible. That looks like the most sensible scientific explanation that one can give. So soil melted and the rock did not melt. That's why you see all those mountains like concrete standing up with all pebbles sticking all over the place. All the mountains around when you are walking
Okay,
are like concrete.
I just can hold my laugh. So he trying to explain away how the Kailash peak came into existence, and he's saying he gives some like numbers of temperature, like, so his idea is, so he proposing that first it could have been come out of a volcano. Like the Himalayas are not volcano. That's a continental plate to continental Eurasian Indian continental plate colliding on a Eurasian continental plate. That's what it is, and pushing the mountain two continental plate against each other. Then the mountain rises. So that's how it is. And when the land, basically the rock rises, then all the sand, or not sand, like the soil or on those rock, over time wither away. So those are long gone, like 60 million years ago. But after that, the rock itself withering away. That's what it turned into soil. Then it goes slowly away. The reason the Himalayan peaks, not just Kailash, all other Everest and K2 and Annapurna, all other peaks, they're rising so fast, and they are very steep because they are rising so fast. The weathering, the snow, the ice couldn't weather away, the glacier couldn't weather away fast enough to make it like less steep. So that's why the peaks are so steep up there. So the peaks rises so fast before all the sites weathering away from the snow, rain, and ice and glacier. So that's why they are very steep. All the Himalayan peaks are very steep. So, he's saying the melting, like, no, nothing melts. That's not how the mountain forms. The orogeny works. Weathering, it's not melting. It's a weathering. Means the wind erosion and water, ice, that's just totally chipping away all the rock as soil, and it goes into the river and just go into the ocean as deposited in the deltas. That's how it works, and it's mainly due to tectonic plate, not some meteorite. He says, not even says meteor. He says meteor slowly enter. Oh my gosh. It's a meteorite, it's already came at high speed and high kinetic energy and impacted it. And it's not slowly comes and sit there. You can say it's Shiva who did it, magic. And volcanoes, no, nothing melts. And he just gives like precise temperature, like They say 800 to 1,000 degrees Celsius, and other could be 6,000. As if he learned all these things and knows what actually happened, and like he's one of those geophysicists who he spent his decade of studying and researching. Like he's just making it up, just making it up. But this was back then, like more than a decade ago. He's not confident how to say it. Like he's kind of still saying, "Oh, I hear from the scientists and Russian scientists say, and I'm not sure. It could be possible, but like this is a time like he's slowly using science to promote his fake brand." It's so funny. It's really funny.
You can see pebbles and molten soil.
Molten
But
soil.
Kailash alone is standing like a steel, like black steel, it's standing there. And last time we sent people right up to the core to get some rocks from the mountain itself. And we have them with us. We see that it's energy-wise, it's reverberating in a big way, but we do not know the geological composition of this. Is it a meteorite or is it a certain rising that happened from the earth itself? We do not know that exactly.
Who are we? Who are you talking? Oh my God. I don't know. Like, how do you not laugh at it? Okay, maybe if you worship this guy, maybe you won't laugh at it. Or if if you don't have a science background, or if you haven't learned about especially geophysics and plate tectonics, yeah, it's hard, and you might think he's talking something he really knows. But if you understood the actual science, then you're going to laugh at him. He's just making this crap up. Okay, he started like, "Oh, we really don't know. Who is we?" Like the guy like you, another guy who worship you, that's who we. And it's like nobody been to the Himalayas and even the Kailas, and he's the first guy, and like, how this formed, I'm going to figure it out. Let's take that rock, I'm going to send it to scientists somewhere. Okay, people has been doing mountaineering, and mountaineers usually don't go to Kailas because they respect the culture, because it's not him. It's been worshipped as a place where God lives, especially Shiva, and it's like over 1,000, like last few thousand years, 2,000 years at least. So, but people been there, and it's not new. And also scientists studied, especially Himalayan orogeny, how the Himalayas formed. Now it's all well understood, even the basic mechanism, and even now accurately predict. Scientists can predict how fast the Himalayas rises and Everest rises. It's not just that they go and take the rock and do chemical analysis, but the whole mountain orogeny also can be measured based on seismic waves. That's how we know actually what happens underneath and how the mountains are pushed up. So it's a really interesting science. If you are interested, you should study geophysics and geology. So it's a very interesting subject. And also paleontology, because geology, paleontology really helps to understand geology and geophysics. And here he's just waiting around and like, yeah, maybe out there. But everything he said so far is just not true, just he made that up. What else you got? Still you got something?
Geologically, they say it's a certain rising. Why this rising happened, all this, I have not found any logical explanations to this. Why a peak would rise?
What logical you couldn't find? Like as if you know logic. You don't even know what's logic. And like, I'm scientists saying this, but I'm not finding any logical explanation. Oh my gosh. Well, like, he's like a head research scientist, and he's judging all the new scientists. He's going, trying to figure out how Himalayas rise, and he's like, no, I'm not finding anything logical what they're saying. Oh my gosh. This is how he used to slowly develop his brand, yogic science brand. Oh gosh, you're incorrigible.
Rise like that? I really do not know. If it's because of tectonic movement, it should have been of one kind, like you find the Indian Himalayas. It's of one kind, it has peaks, but it's of one kind. Here it seems to be different. There may be a geological explanation, I do not know. But you can see geologically it's of a different structure altogether. Either you can try to read miraculous happenings into this, or if there isn't anything like that, it's just a natural earth formation happening that's happened, and somehow this peak had more integrity. Obviously it has, because of the kind of rock that it is. So Shiva and other yogis chose this place because this was a good place. That could be the most sensible explanation. Or there could be some other crazy happening because there's a crazy lake next door. So there could be some possible craziness out there in its making. Or it could be just a natural geological happening. Both are possible. We need a scientific assessment of this, which we haven't found yet. Story-wise, Shiva is always sitting at the peak of Kailash.
Like, it's all well established in scientific research and knowledge we have right now. Clearly, we know how Himalayas rise, and even including Kailash and all of the peak, and why they get that shape, because they are steep, because they are rising so fast, the weather and the climate, and they couldn't erode away so fast. That's why they're going straight up so fast. He's saying like, there could be some craziness, and scientifically we don't know. Like, as if he knows any science. Really? We don't know? And you saying, it's some craziness. What craziness? Oh my gosh, this guy is funny. This is how he developed his brand back then. Oh my gosh.
With Parvati sitting on his lap, on his left lap. This is all you need to understand. This is a story which is trying to narrate a certain dimension of life. This is not a physical thing that there's a man sitting there and a woman sitting on his lap. That's not the point. How life is made, that's how the story is. The science of life expressed in a story form, a dialectical expression of life. So, he's sitting on this peak constantly. Unless he goes to his original Kailash, sometimes he goes away, only then he's missing, otherwise he's always sitting there. So Kailash is his original abode. This is his visiting Kailash. It has many aspects to it. We've been promising you that we will find out the nature of this material, what this is, and I sent a few pieces with one of the Detroit meditators. They were supposed to find out, and I don't know, I think they must be keeping the stones in their house and worshipping it or something. They got the nice stones and they must be keeping it in their shrine. I don't know what happened, but I have not gotten any reports. Somebody else said there's another place in Arizona and they're going to send it there, and they took a few more pieces from me, and I don't know where they went. So, apart from this, the significance of the mountain for us is not its nature, how it happened, however it has happened. Is it a meteorite? Did it land slowly for some reason, and all this kind of stuff? Maybe it's just a natural happening, but for us the significance is right now what it has become a station for. It's become a station of knowledge and grace. That's all that matters to us. Just a natural happening, but
Okay,
for us the…
all right, that's okay. If you believe something, you're nothing new, you know. Uh, people has a lot of belief about this place. This place is has a special place in Hindu, not only Hindu, it's also in the Buddhist religion. Not only people, Indian people on this side of the mountain, also Tibetan people. So it's nothing new. It's part of the Indian Tibetan history. So it's totally normal, and people look at the nature and they come up with stories and they worship. So it's normal. So, and what you're doing here is you pretending, this is something I'm going to find out scientifically. So I went there and sent out guys and picked the stone and sent it to Detroit, I sent it to Arizona, and trying to research. So oh gosh. Oh my gosh! All he trying to do is, like, I'm the new Yogi brand. I'm the new all this guy. Now I'm coming to you with a scientific explanation for the existence of Kailas and yoga. But no, I'm not sure the science says that, but it's okay. Now I'll stay for a while. That's what he's been doing back then. But I bet if you're going to ask him right now, now he got all the name and his brand and his corporation developed so much. Now he's going to say, no, it's all pure. My yogic science figured out, and we tried other science that also says true, but the science is wrong. They're stupid. They're idiot. And he used all energy, cosmic energy, feeling. It's in the molecule. It's in the Kailash mountain, in the tectonic movement. It's in the meteorite, the volcanoes in the 800 to 1,000 degrees Celsius, and exactly 6,000 degrees Celsius, and tectonically possible. And the Russian scientist says. And it is also possible, but I don't see it's logically. But I haven't received any report. I'm waiting for a scientific report to see if it's worth it or not. I will conclude. What? What the hell you just did, Mr. Sadhguru Yogi? This is exactly what, like, you just throw a bunch of words and made it up. Like, I can do this all day, like just like him. I'll go to not just Kailash, some other place, and talk about the same thing. I know why Adi Yogi Shiva came here, because I feel there's a cosmic energy here. But the energy you can feel in this molecule, that's what will make me are. The elements comes and it's in a cycle. So the cycle repeats and repeats, but essentially it's all you're revealing yourself. What's this purpose? There's an ant, there's a tree, there's an animal. They are living full-fledged to be ant and animals and birds. But who we are human consciously. That's what we need to do. But we are not evolving anymore. But we have to evolve consciously. And how we had to be evolved consciously in full flesh, that not many people will know. But Adi Yogi 15,000 years ago said us, and when someone asked him, what is this world, what is time, what is the space, he said, the cosmos, it's in the small seed. And we yogic, in the yogic science, I call this a mandala. It's a cycle, it repeats. The reason we do it is there's a scientific logic behind it, and it's scientifically proven. I guess I couldn't do it. I can do it without straight face anymore. Watching this guy, I'm like, that's how like gibberish he's throwing out. Like if he cut the last the portion of my speech, and like I would seem like I'm a yogi now. I'm a yogi scientist now. I'm a mystic myself. Gosh, now I can start branding myself. Once he dies, then I can promote my brand. I can I can promote my like brand with actual science knowledge, and all I get to say is, oh, essentially it's all in it energy. It's life. We had evolved into this cosmic thing. Just add a bunch of those while I'm talking about how the quantum fluctuation works, quantum entanglement, and all that field theory. Hey, yeah, looks like all I had to do is just wait for this guy to die, and because he's not going to be buried, right? He's just going to disappear, and all it is to take place and go to IITs, and definitely IIT people. And those people who claps, there's energy in the water, memory in the water, they'll pay me a lot. Like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with those people? Yeah, gosh. All right, I'll see you on the next one. I can't stop laughing. Oh my God. Yogi, Mr. Yogi Jaggi, what are you doing? Like, and